Welcome back to the Benoit Motors podcast. So glad for you to join us in the studio today. So we got Jason Benoit, the owner extraordinaire. Can I call you that?
It probably won't go over well.
All right, so we got some good stuff going on. So let's start. What's in the new with the Benoit Motors family?
The car business now is it's just,
I'm not even in the car business.
it's like day trading penny stocks, trying to buy and sell cars right now.
Yeah. All right.
But now we're in a time right now that has finally swung back in the buyer's favor. To be honest with you, for the past few years, it's been all people have felt sorry for us because we haven't had lots full of cars.
Right.
But supply and demand, that's actually made our business very profitable. So
Yeah.
we have been very, 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 very blessed. All car dealers really have been over the past few years. But the customers, it's been probably since 2019 since they've been in a spot. People have to buy cars, so we're not wrong for selling them cars the last 3 years.
Right.
People got to buy cars. The world decides what supply and demand
Right.
is. But it just hasn't been financially the best time to buy a car from a customer's perspective
Right.
since probably 2019.
Well, it's like MSRP was up, or you bought over, but interest rates were still low. Now, are we back to MSRP?
We are now discounting cars back of MSRP.
Okay, so
Even Super Duties, like a Ford Super Duty, it was a bag of tricks because, to run a successful dealership, you need to sell your cars to your local market. They need
Right.
to bring their cars to the local service department, and that's how we run our business. For the past few years, it's been very challenging because we're not going to sell a car to a local customer for over sticker price unless it's like a Raptor or a TRX or
Right.
something that we get like 1 or 2 a year,
Yeah.
right? Just in full transparency. Like you're not going to come to our dealership if you live in Southwest Louisiana or Southeast Texas and pay over MSRP even during that period of time. But what we would do is sell cars over MSRP to people out of state.
Okay.
I was like, hey, I'm not marking these trucks up for my
Right.
people. And to be honest with you, if y'all's local dealers don't have them, I'll sell it to you, but it's going to cost you $5,000 over.
right,
and-
that was everybody was,
And
doing that.
everybody was doing that across the world, right? So, so we did that. Made a it just wasn't a good time to buy a car. I mean, for if somebody wanted to buy a car, they had to pay way too much for it.
right.
And now we're just literally in the past 60 days, like overnight, the car business has completely flipped.
Mm-hmm.
And now, rather than me getting emails every day from brokers that are wanting to sell me cars for MSRP plus so I can have
Right.
something to sell, now they're wanting to buy mine from me. Yeah, it's a real different deal. Our lots are right now, we have more inventory than we had since 2019.
Like that's pre-owned and new.
New.
New, you got more new.
We are loaded with new. We probably have 300 new on the ground right now. We have about 300 used on the ground right now. So if at buybenoit.com you could shop for about 600 units.
Wow.
From Chevy, GMC, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Nissan, Ford. There's a
Right.
lot. There's a lot to choose from.
I actually went on last night to
Okay.
buybenoit.com. Of course, my son, he's going to be 15 soon, and he wants a certain type of vehicle. So I was over there looking.
Well, what happens? We have, we had this automotive strike. People were, there was a lot. The supply was starting to catch up. The chip crisis, all these things. Supply was starting to catch up. Fill rates on shelf life on the lots were getting to a 30-day supply, which is actually that's perfect. But
Yeah.
used to it was probably like 90-day supply. Everybody just had all these cars. But it had really kind of corrected itself, but it didn't affect things because we really didn't know if they were going to go on strike. So the value of the cars we were having to protect the inventory that we had.
Yeah.
Just in case we had
Right.
to make that last. As soon as that strike closure negotiation was over, now auction values have changed. Everything's because supply is already back right, and now we know they're going to keep building. And so if there's not another COVID or another chip crisis or another
There's
like,
going to be plethora
there's
of
going to
cars.
be
Right.
acres and acres of cars like there was in 2019. So
Right.
now the factory has to say, but nobody wants to buy cars because the interest rates are high.
Right.
So now we have a surplus of new vehicle inventory. The factories have put their deals together, so production's in motion, and now they woke up to the game and they know they got to incentivize the rate. So we have tons of new vehicles with
how much was the F-150s off? Was it 10,000 off some of those F-150s last month?
Those are very
5 or 10.
They're very stock number specific.
I got you.
Some
like
of
an
them,
STX.
Yeah, really the more expensive the truck is, the more margin we have to discount it. It gets really tricky. But what I can tell you now is we have too much inventory. Okay, listen to me. Okay, we have way too much inventory. I'll never forget in 2018, me being a very young car dealer, scraped a few quarters together with some friends to buy my first one. Our most expensive bill, other than rent, was floor plan interest.
Right.
The factories don't just park them there.
Yeah,
we own them and we pay interest on them until we sell them. So, but I never forget my floor plan interest bill was, $10,000, $12,000, $13,000 a month. Rates were 2 or 3% back then. My floor plan bill last month was $138,000 in interest.
So what that means is
come buy a car. Come buy a car. Come take one from me, please. It's costing me money. But the factories know this, and so now they're going to do what they do, which is 0% interest rates, 1.9, 2.9,
if you
3.9.
finance through them.
If you finance through their banks. And so they're, now the factory's getting on board with, hey, we fixed our problems. Now we're building cars. We got to get back to making money.
So you can get way below MSRP with some incentives.
Yes.
And get a low interest rate financing through.
Yes, you can.
Wow.
Now's the time.
Wow.
It's I don't do this. I don't say now's the time because it hasn't been the time in a long time. I
actually have not heard you ever say that. Because whenever in 2018, when this whole thing started, me and you doing videos and stuff, you're like, I don't want to be the guy that goes, money, save some money. Let's go $13,000 off.
But now I'm begging you to come take some floor plan off of my expense statement,
and you know
please.
why I feel bad? I feel bad because it's no secret that I'm a Ford guy. Yeah. I've always driven a Ford. And so I feel bad that anytime I mention cars, it's always an F-150. But we're talking Dodge, we're talking Chevy.
Our Nissan product right now, which is next door to the Ford store in DeRidder, is loaded with beautiful product. Our Dodge store is loaded with affordable products. The Compasses, the Rams have great incentives right now.
Dude, there's that one Ram truck. Is it a TR or something?
TRX.
Oh,
it's kind of like
gosh.
it's kind of like I can't say that it's the I want to be a Raptor truck. I can't say that because I own a Dodge dealership.
Right, but it's
like the
equivalent.
It's the equivalent. And I think the TRX, every few years one of them will do something to outdo the other, and they kind of
dude that one with the airbags
but
that goes
nasty,
up.
Nasty trucks.
Yeah, that's a great truck. What about North? Some Chevy, some GM.
I was up there
stuff.
yesterday. Actually, hopped on a little SR22 to visit my brother at the North store yesterday, and we actually looked at another acquisition in another town in North Louisiana yesterday. Not going to do that deal, but I flew up there for that, so I was able to visit those two stores.
They got a lot of inventory.
We got inventory there.
So bybenoit.com, they can search all Benoit from Farmerville down to DeRidder.
Yeah, our North Louisiana locations have GMC, Chevrolet, and Ford in North Louisiana. Of course, Ford's irrelevant because we have one in the South. If you're in the South, you're going to use our South store. But our General Motors store is out of the Southwest Louisiana area, but we do remote delivery. If you go on bybenoit.com and find something you like or want to deal with us or just know somebody that works for us and want to deal with some money. I am a Southwest Louisiana guy. DeRidder and Vernon Parish, Borgore and Vernon Parish has become so special to my heart. The people there have accepted me. The people there have helped me grow my business. The community there have been tremendous, and I think that God has used me to serve a purpose in that community, that now people in that community are givers more than just Benoit. Like we give away a lot of money, kind of like the Navars always did here. Mr. Billy always gave away a bunch of money. He set the precedent in the 80s that it's your responsibility as the dealer.
Every little kid had a name on the back of their jersey.
I mean, we know Mr. Navar taught us how to do it the right way.
Right.
And we know that's still a successful organization, and we respect those folks. But that wasn't known up there. And so when we did that here in Borgore and Vernon Parish, it really resonated with the people. And now it's resonated with other businesses that do what we do, and they're competing with us to see if they can give away as much as us, which is bad for me, great for the community.
Yeah. All right, so let's shift some focus. Let's go to the why buys. It sounds like what? Whoa, why?
Because I need you to buy.
Yeah,
because I need money.
Like so we know the incentives. We know all that. We know low interest rates if you go there. And so let's talk about the why buy. Like why buy from Benoit?
Well, that's been a new thing lately, and it's not just Benoit that's doing these things, but prices, $10,000 off attracts less and less people now. The world is changing.
Right.
We really feel like the car business is changing into more of an experience-based business, less price and shop and hustle and more lifelong partnership.
Right.
And so, why buys? Anybody can sell you a car and sell it to you for $1 less than the next guy was gonna. And then if you go back to the other guy 10 times, everybody will discount it $1. But what are you getting from that? There's no relationship. There's really no relationship. There's no sense of loyalty. And whoever you buy from, they're going to remember how you did it.
Yeah.
And after the sale, you really. Good. We still take care of people, but you understand. There's so we decided, let's go through it. Like we got number one thing we do, and I know we did it before anyone else did, and now it almost is something that's done.
Everybody, pretty much
about half. But we started, and we were the first one in Southwest Louisiana to do lifetime powertrain warranties on all new cars. So you come buy one of these new cars that we have too many of. You get a factory interest rate for 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5%. Very good.
1.9, whatever,
whatever it is. And you can drive it forever and not be a frequent trader and never have to buy an engine transmission, which is the two major components.
Let me ask you something. Is that on Super Duties too?
Not diesels and not Europeans.
Not diesels, not Europeans.
Not diesels and not Europeans.
Because a bunch of cowboys were about to be like,
good question.
I'm in.
Good question.
Yeah. All right. So not on, because, yeah, I'm going to go
What's the next one we have?
The next one is Valuewise Value Protection.
Valuewise is a cool program. I'll tell you, we had an outside insurance rep trying to push that product on us a few years ago, and one of my managers wanted to do it. I let him do it for a while. We eliminated it. But I recently had an employee. His name is Cody Bailey.
I know Cody.
Bought a
Nissan. Is it Nissan?
He's actually our sales manager now at Wilmart at the Leesville location.
Nice.
So Cody... I'm going to give you guys a testimony of what this is. Okay. What it is it's a policy that we put on all of our vehicles that in the event that you buy it, drive it, or involved in any type of accident, so if the Carfax has any blemish on it at all, when you go to trade it in, it's a trade to value. It's an insurance claim that kicks in, if you will. There's probably a better way to explain it. Let me tell you what happened to Cody. Cody bought a vehicle from us a couple of years ago. He was an employee, which is why I know about this particular claim. He got in a wreck. They didn't total the truck, got the truck fixed, kept driving the truck. Like a year later, he wanted to trade it in. $10,000. He was upside down, and the insurance policy paid max payout, which is up to $10,000, and they covered his negative equity. Do whatever formula they figured it out because of the depreciation of Carfax and all.
Wow.
So he was able to trade out of a vehicle and get a new one when he couldn't have without this policy because he'd have needed $10,000 for a down payment to get the new deal done. But so all of our vehicles, and all these things have cost. These things are not, like if we go out of business tomorrow, which we're not.
Yeah.
These are policies that we expense, we buy, and we bind to the VIN number. So like if you buy a vehicle from us, after you see this, it has this on it if it's a new vehicle.
So this is not one of those extra things that you go into the finance office and you try to go gap and this and that. This is not.
That's not one of those. It used to be, but now they all come with it.
They all come with it. It's part of the price.
There is a price for every one of these, but the customers aren't paying for it. It's in the
wow.
Well, I don't know. I mean, we're making money when we sell a car. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not trying to mislead
It's not something
anybody.
you add on.
But
it's in there,
and you can't take it off. Like
okay.
Because we advertising it that it's in all cars. Like I can't go to Johnny and Johnny say, "Man, I don't need this. Take it off." What's that cost you? $200 for that one and $200 for that one. I can't because I'm advertising and it's on all. So
man, that's legit.
Yeah. So
we need to do an interview with Cody about it.
That's great. And what's the next one? That's one thing. There's a couple
7-day vehicle exchange policy.
Just started this. If you're watching this, you'll be the first person to hear about it other than my sales team yesterday. I let people bring cars back the next day. We have military gentlemen that'll come buy cars, and then maybe they'll get back, and then their superior might be like, "You shouldn't have bought a car." And like, well, legally, we don't have to take cars back. I always do if it's a day or two later because buyer's remorse. Mama gets mad. Let's don't get a divorce because I won't take a car back. I'm never going to be that guy, right?
Yeah.
But you can't like. 5 days later, we've probably already paid taxes on the car. You can't just bring cars back,
right?
If you come to buy a car. And you just want to do more research because you're like, I don't know if this will fit good with the car seats, or I don't know if I like the fuel mileage on this, or I don't, and the salesman's just trying to grind you, because they're trying to make a living, right? So, in this particular situation, like, if you drive the car 2 or 3 or 4 days, whether it's a problem, whether it's just something in your behavior patterns that you're like, I shouldn't have bought this car. We know you still need a car. We'll let you bring that one back, and we'll put you right back in the situation you were before with that trade you had last time. And we'll be like, let's shop for another car. You need one bigger? You need one smaller?
But you have to get another car.
You have to get another car.
Okay. All
but
right.
you
That's
don't
cool.
get stuck with the one you have, and you don't have to trade out of it for a depreciation. As long as you know that you don't want it within the first 7 days, there's nothing negative that could happen. You just get put back where you were the day you showed up.
That's out there, man.
It's to provide peace for people to make it easier to make the decision.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about Vin Theft Deterrent.
Vin Theft Deterrent is another thing that we used to sell in finance. It's not very expensive. It does have some benefits. And right now we're not selling it. It's on all the vehicles. It is basically a serial number that's placed on etched on all of the glass on the vehicles. There's a policy, an insurance policy also that attaches to that using that etch. Like if the car is stolen and not recovered within 30 days, this is this claim pays $3,000.
Okay.
So it's a anti-theft. And also I'm not going to say this is for everyone, but most people when they sell this, they tell you it's going to get you a discount on your insurance.
Oh.
I'm not telling you that it's not.
Right.
I think it does sometimes.
You may have to say it.
But I think sometimes it don't.
Okay,
So I think it probably depends on the insurance company or whatever the case may be.
I gotcha.
But yeah, it's a theft deterrent. So
all right, let's talk about that hotline bling, that VIP buyer hotline.
that's a new thing as well. God, I hate to say this, man. I feel like anyways, I'm not even going to say what I'm thinking about because it's another dealership that used to do the same thing. Figure that one out.
We're just taking it. Hey, you know what the definition of creativity, right?
What?
Forgetting who you stole it from.
Yeah. And I don't steal everything, but doggone, if you're doing a good job with it, it's working. I'm going to do it too.
There's nothing new under the sun.
I'm going to do it too.
Yeah.
But, when you buy a car, and you get broke down on the side of the highway, you're supposed to call Roadside Assistance, and I haven't done that in many years. I don't know what the hoops are to it.
Right.
But I did. I heard a horror story a month or so ago about one of my customers that was calling Roadside Assistance and just all the You know what it was? It was an employee, and that's how it got to me.
Okay.
It was an employee that was like, dude, if you ever broke down on the side of the road and called Ford. And I was like, no. And they told me about the experience, and it was, now I'm not knocking Ford. It was just not personal. It's a 1-800 number in the middle of the night. Like, you don't know who you are. You don't know who you're dealing with. What we did now is we have a 24-hour hotline that is a cell phone, basically, that is just an on-call number that a manager, not a salesperson, one of our top managers, there's about 6 of them that'll rotate this phone. They'll have this phone on call for a week at a time. And, anybody that buys a car from us, we'll put the sticker in the door for that phone number or whatever the case may be. Or you can go to our website. But at the end of the day, if we're closed, you don't have to call nobody else. But that number and somebody in charge at Benoit is going to answer the phone. And if you're confused on the side of the road, we'll go get you. I mean, we're positioned to whatever it takes to make the customer settled that night. If it's just us explaining to them how to work the Roadside Assistance program, let's stay on the line with them until we get them through it. If they're kind of freaked out and we need to dispatch someone to go help them, these are things that I just don't want people having to dial strange numbers when they're my customers.
Oh, that's good.
And so that is not something that every dealership does. I don't know if any of them do it now. I'm not saying they don't, because one in particular for sure used to. But yes, to me, that's just concierge, red carpet type. And that's what we want. We want people to do business with us. And let's just do this.
That's what all friends have when you have a manager who's a friend.
Yeah.
You call
like if you broke down, you'd call me.
Yeah. I actually, whenever I did break down, it was 2 years ago or last year, and I called you. You gave me one of the managers, Randall.
Yeah.
And then Randall was like, man, I'm sending you to to Jared. Yeah. And Jared's like, hey man, here's what you need to call. Here's what you need to do. I'll call for you. And dude, it was easy. But that's what friends do. So it's like you're passing that friend benefit to every customer, which is crazy.
It's definitely a new way of doing the car business. We're turning into the good guys. Figure that one out. We're turning into the good guys. We're having to do whatever we got to do, But hey, man, that's America, and that's beautiful. And like I said, right now, And man, sometimes it's great for us. I mean, we're blessed and being business owners, and sometimes it's great for us. This isn't one of those times, but hey, we're strong. We're a strong company. It's a great time for the customer now.
So that goes back to the next one, number 6, which is the loaner and pickup delivery.
Yes.
So the 6th reason why you want to buy.
And there's a couple. There's another dealership that I know, another Ford dealership that I see pushing that, and Ford as a company itself is pushing that.
Right, with the Ford Mobile Service.
Yeah, and resourcing some of us to help us with that. We're wanting to do that with all of our stores, but in a nutshell, right now, we're kind of tearing down. We're trying to build we're trying to tear down the walls between service and sales. Mm-hmm. And I really want my customer's salesperson to be more involved with their service after sale.
Okay.
And so we are actually, I think right now it's 40 miles from the dealership. If you need any vehicle service, you don't have to come in. You could come in if you want, but we will actually go out to your house, pick up your car, bring it in, bring it back when it's repaired. If you bought from us, you'll never be without a loaner car overnight. If you bought the car from us, even if it's used, if you bought a car from us and it's inoperable, not safe overnight, listen to what I'm telling you, because we have 100 cars in a service department. Sometimes I can't just loan 100 cars out if we got to go order a window switch.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We got to give you your car back, and then when the window switch comes in, we'll go out and put it on in your house. You don't have to come back
absolutely.
again. But you're never going to be let me give you some examples. It's never going to be summer and your air not working. Me expect you to drive your car because I'm waiting on a part, or I'm waiting on somebody to diagnose it. You're not going to have a safety indicator light on and have to roll the dice.
Gotcha.
Like we're going to get your car, and if it's safe to drive, we're going to diagnose that, order the correct part, give you your car back. We'll go install it on property if we can when it comes in. But if it's not safe to drive, if I wouldn't drive my family in it, you don't have to drive yours in it. You'll get a brand new vehicle from us as a loaner.
Wow.
Of course, you got to treat it with respect. It's kind of like renting a car. You don't go rent a car and abuse Enterprise's cars. If you do, they bill your credit card for it.
Yeah.
We don't want to pay. We don't want nobody to pay us to rent cars. I don't want people to abuse our products because we still got to put them on a lot and sell them as demonstrators. After we loan them. But that's what we're going to do. I want the people to want to do business with us because if their car's in the shop, they're going to be driving a nicer one while it's in there.
That's good. All right, number 7. I think it's the best one. Speak to Mr. Benoit.
And no one does that one. I'm the only one that does that, and people tell me I'm crazy for it. Yeah. Basically, that's the same thing as always. The company's grown.
Deal with the dealer.
I don't deal with everybody like I used to enjoy actually selling the car with everyone, and that was great. The company grew, and I still do that. I actually still will. If you even click speak to the dealer and want to buy your car from me, like you have to schedule an appointment, but like you can do that, right?
Yeah.
So the speak to the dealer is legit. Like if you click the button on any of our websites, on any of our Facebook pages. I get alerted on my cell phone as well as a team of about 4 people that are the 4 closest people to me, right? So it's my team. And I'm not going to like mislead anyone and say, no matter what, I drop what I'm doing right then. I walk away from dinner with my family and I'm calling.
Right,
no.
But you make an appointment.
Somebody's calling you right then, and whoever's calling you has already talked to me. Like, if it ain't me, whoever's calling you, it's already blown up in a group text.
Can I try it out today? Just to test it and
you
see?
Can. You can.
Dude, I'm gonna do that.
Randall's going to blow your phone up. Jared's going to blow your phone up. Courtney's going to blow your phone up.
Well, they'll see my number.
I'm going to blow their phone up.
Calling him.
And so no, man, it's accountability, man. We got 200 employees, and you know what? Sometimes I wake up with a bad freaking day.
Yeah.
Sometimes Miss Mandy makes me mad.
What?
And so I'll act inappropriate. Shoot, we all make mistakes, and I'm sure I have employees that make mistakes. And doggone it, don't judge me for it. Call me.
Yeah.
Call me and let me fix it. They might need to be fired, or they might need a hug.
Right. Ooh, there you go.
We don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And we're responsible for you, and we're also responsible for the family of employees that we have.
Yeah. I just learned that. So I took a month sabbatical off of the church in August. And one of the things that I learned was if some volunteer or somebody keeps making the same mistake, maybe there's something going on in their life that you don't even know.
Usually there is.
Yep.
And so, especially if it's out of that person's character.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I like that, man. Look at you. It's like youth pastor Jason.
Old backslidden youth pastor Jason.
So
if you see
good.
me with a margarita in my hand at the restaurant, I promise you I'm not a youth pastor anymore, but I do love
it's a virgin
Jesus.
margarita, Jason.
It's not, Brady. It's not. You know, I got to tell y'all the truth. But no, we just, you know, us. We just like to be who we are.
Yeah,
we
absolutely.
We like to be real. Like to cut up. Like to have fun. But we want to provide these for our customers because I'm tired of losing customers.
Yeah.
There really is a lot of good stuff going on, Brady. We got to do the right thing.
Yeah.
And it's to that point now where it's business as it's pre-COVID business, which means there's more cars and people that want to buy them.
Good for the customer.
It's great for the customer. It hasn't been good for y'all for a long time, but now it's a great time for you guys to try to put yourself in a good spot.
That's good. You know what else? Dude, I'm wearing a Benoit shirt.
That's it.
See that?
I'm not.
I'm representing, man.
I came to church today to sit in the meeting, so I wore my suit and everything.
Yeah, look at you, Pastor Jason. Getting up. All right, well, thanks for joining us on the Benoit podcast, and we'll catch you on the next one.